Very sadly, knife crime continues to be an awful blight on local communities, leaving people completely devastated by the senseless loss of young lives. We would like to express our huge sympathies for family and friends of Harvey Willgoose, who was killed whilst attending a Sheffield school in a stabbing attack by the defendant. We hope that these guilty verdicts bring some comfort to Harvey's family, that justice has been served today. The Crown Prosecution Service and South Yorkshire Police were able to prove that the defendant did not lose self-control, but intended to deliberately attack 15-year-old Harvey. We remind young people that there can be horrendous and serious consequences of carrying knives. It has been proven that if you carry these weapons, you are more likely to use them or to become a victim of knife crime. You are putting yourself, other people and your future at risk. Please stop carrying knives and putting lives in danger. Thank you.
Could you just identify yourself, please? Would you mind saying who you are at the start, then?
Good afternoon. I'm Detective Inspector Joe Hackworthy, the Deputy Senior Investigating Officer of the investigation into Harvey Willgoose's murder. This trial has been a heartbreaking reminder of the devastation knife crime causes in our communities. It tears lives and families apart, and that has never been more evident than in this tragic case. Tonight, one boy's family will be spending another night grieving the unimaginable loss of their beloved son, while another boy's family will be living with the reality that their son faces a life sentence behind bars for murder. Our thoughts today are with all those who knew and loved Harvey, especially his family, who've had to endure a lengthy trial because of the murderer's refusal to admit the full extent of what he did on that tragic day in February. They have shown immense courage throughout the court process, and I want to thank them for it. The boy who's been found guilty of Harvey's murder thought carrying a knife would offer him protection and change the way his peers looked at him. He might even have wanted them to fear him. But the painful reality is that his decision led to him taking an innocent life, tearing the lives of two families apart, about to land him in prison. It's important we all try to change attitudes towards violence and carrying weapons, and we can all play a part in tackling knife crime. I am mindful that South Yorkshire's young people are currently on their summer holidays and may have been left feeling frightened or anxious following Harvey's death and the subsequent criminal justice proceedings. If you are a parent or carer and suspect your child is carrying a knife, or may be feeling under pressure to carry one, please have an open and honest conversation with them. It's also important that you encourage them to tell someone they trust if they believe one of their friends or somebody they know is carrying a weapon. Thank you.
That was Detective Inspector Joe Hackworthy from South Yorkshire Police speaking outside Sheffield Crown Court. Let's listen in again.
Part of ourselves. Our lives changed forever that day. Harvey was full of life, a warm, funny, caring boy who had a unique ability to bring people together. His presence lit up every room. He made people feel seen, heard and valued. He was deeply loved by his family, cherished by his friends and respected by all who knew him. This tragedy has not only devastated our family but has rippled across the country. People everywhere continue to grieve the loss of our beautiful boy. We know many have been traumatised, some witnessed the unthinkable, others held Harvey as he took his last breaths. To them, we send our deepest love and strength. In Harvey's memory, we will continue to speak out, we will raise awareness about the devastating impacts of knife crime and campaign for safer schools, stronger communities and a better, safer future for not just our children but us all. Thank you. Thank you.
The sister of Harvey Willgoose, Sophie Willgoose, making a statement on behalf of the Willgoose family after that verdict was handed down today. A jury at Sheffield Crown Court has found a 15-year-old boy guilty of the murder of Harvey Willgoose by a majority of 11-1. The 15-year-old boy died after being stabbed by the fellow pupil at their school in Sheffield on February the 3rd this year. The attack happened during the lunch break at All Saints Catholic High School. The jury deliberated for over 14 hours to reach a verdict of murder. The defendant had previously admitted a charge of manslaughter but denied murder. But today, the jury found him guilty of murder. But because of his age as a minor, we can't name him. Our North of England correspondent, Danny Savage, has been following this case and spoke to BBC News shortly after the verdict came in.
The jury's come back after deliberating for more than 3 days over the charges here. They came back with a majority verdict here, finding the 15-year-old youth guilty of the murder of Harvey Willgoose. They've been deliberating for some time. There was cheers in court when that verdict came back. The boy in question sat passively in the dock as that verdict was returned. This was a shocking incident. Knife crime, sadly, isn't as rare as it should be, but certainly knife crime and attacks and killings like this in schools certainly are. And this was in February this year when Harvey Willgoose was attacked when he was at school during the lunch break. He was stabbed twice in the chest by a fellow pupil. They'd had a couple of altercations during the morning between the pair of them. They had been friends at one stage but had fallen out in a row that had happened the previous week. And the boy found guilty today had brought a hunting knife to school on the day of the murder, and at lunchtime he stabbed Harvey Willgoose twice. And as that verdict came through, Harvey's mother was in tears in the public gallery as that guilty verdict of murder came through today. It's obviously a harrowing and terrible few months for Harvey's family. We've had a statement from the school as well, All Saints Catholic High in Sheffield. They say, "We think especially of Harvey's family, loved ones and friends today. We cannot begin to imagine the immeasurable impact the loss of Harvey has had on them. Harvey was a much-loved, positive and outgoing pupil whose memory will be cherished by all who knew him." Harvey's death was an unimaginable tragedy, the statement from the school goes on to say, for all, and one that understandably gives rise to a number of questions from his family and others. Now that the trial is finished, a number of investigations aimed at addressing and answering these questions will be able to proceed, and they say that they will cooperate fully with the family who have questions and would like to see changes in schools when it comes to weapons coming into schools, as happened on that terrible day back in February this year.
Danny Savage speaking outside Sheffield Crown Court just a short time ago. Well, responding to this guilty verdict in this murder trial, South Yorkshire's Mayor Oliver Coppard has said that today's verdict brings some justice for Harvey, although it cannot undo the pain that his family has suffered. He was a young boy with a bright future, and his death, especially in a school, has deeply affected our region. My thoughts, as always, remain with his family, particularly Caroline and Mark, his parents, whose strength, courage and dignity has been remarkable. South Yorkshire stands with them. Well, we've heard a number of people expressing concern about knife crime, and an appeal a short while ago from Rachel Baldwin from the Crown Prosecution Service for people, particularly young people, not to carry knives. Well, our reporter Mairead Smith has more now on the background to this case.
Harvey Willgoose was murdered on Monday, the 3rd of February, just minutes after lunch began at All Saints Catholic High School. His killer was a boy in the same year. Both were 15 years old. The parents of Harvey Willgoose have spoken about the son they've lost.
He was a funny kid and just loved to be around people. Loved his friends like he loved his family.
He was a character for me.
Harvey had been struggling with school attendance in the months before his murder. His mum recalls the morning he went back in.
He said, "Mum, I'm going to school. Are you proud of me?" And I said, "I am, love." And I followed him downstairs. I followed him through a corridor. And he said, "I love you, Mum. Shut door behind me." And that's his last words to me.
His killer, who can't be named because of his age, had tried to convince the jury that Harvey Willgoose had a problem with him and he was afraid of being attacked because of issues at school the previous week involving other boys. The court heard how he and Harvey had a row on Snapchat the weekend before the murder. The boy who killed Harvey came to school that Monday morning armed with a hunting knife and stabbed him twice in the chest a few hours later.
You never think he's going to lose his life. But when I got onto Granville Road and I saw a amount of police and bodies around, I thought it's serious, and they won't let us. Just at the sitting police car, they raced up to Children's, and I still thought at that time he was still alive.
The family were taken to a room in the hospital where they learnt Harvey had lost his life.
I looked at my phone and someone had put R.I.P. Harvey. And these two ladies ran in and I said, somebody's just said R.I.P. Harvey, and she said, he's passed. And I was like, well, I just started screaming.
6 months since his death, his parents say life without their son is really tough.
I think it's worse now than it was then, because it's real now that he's not coming home. His bedroom's exactly the same as it were when he left it. I can't deal with going in there yet.
Shortly after the attack in February, Harvey's parents marched against knife crime and they want to continue that work.
I've got to do something for Harvey. It's what's getting us through. I want to start going into schools and talking about knife crime. Still trying to push for knife archers in schools. Kids have got to be educated on the impact of their lives, of the family's lives, and of the person that's done it's family's life as well, because they've got an empty bedroom.
A 15-year-old boy has been found guilty of murdering Harvey Willgoose. His parents will forever feel the loss of their son.
Personally, I don't think we'll ever get justice for him. We'll never get Harvey back. Our lives are never going to be the same.
He had so much to give. And his friends missing him. We're all missing him. And it's just heartbreaking. He was 15.
The parents of Harvey Willgoose speaking to Mairead Smith. Well, after the verdict today, the murder verdict at Sheffield Crown Court, Harvey's sister Sophie spoke outside the building to say that Harvey was full of life and had a unique ability to bring people together. And his mother, Caroline, has said, I want him to be remembered as the fun-loving child, the cheeky chappy, the sociable kid that he was. He was a joy. He was a million miles an hour. He loved life and had loads of friends. He has just left a big, empty hole. There's more on the background to this case and today's verdict on the BBC News website.